So, now what? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kiss Army Things podcast. This is episode 81. My name is Xander.
My name is Daphne.
I'm so glad that you have chosen to join us here today, talking all things Kiss and what 2024 has in store for us. So I just want to welcome back anybody who's been watching us for a long time. Thank you so much if you're a recurring viewer. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for your support and for watching us and for giving us your time. Hopefully we make your Sundays a little bit better. And if you're a newer viewer, we're so glad that you're here. Hopefully in 2024 we get some newer people involved and we just kind of continue to grow and, celebrate Kiss. That's all that we're doing. So basically Kiss Army Things is my wife and I, my brother and I, all of us just sit around, talk about Kiss, talk about our favorite songs, our favorite albums, our favorite merchandise, and we drink tea out of Kiss Army Nation podcast cups and we drink Moneybag soda and we just have a really good time. So how does that sound?
Sounds great. Thank
you so much for everybody being here. We woke up to some snow today.
Yes, it was our first, not big, but first decent sized snow of the winter, I would say.
I'm going to call it the first actual snowfall because we've had snowfall and snow stick, but we haven't had snowfall and snow stick like overnight and all that. So it's definitely chilly outside. We're cooped up in the house trying to stay warm. So wherever you're at.
Why I went for the tea today, by the way.
There you go. Absolutely. So today we're going to talk about the 2024 Kiss forecast. What do we want to see happen in 2024? What can we realistically expect to happen in 2024? We're going to get into all that. But first, we're going to always start out with the Kiss Spotlight. The Kiss Spotlight is where we start out just talking about the music and what music we've been listening to most recently, what album is fresh in our minds, fresh on the turntable, fresh in the CD player. And so, Daphne, I'm going to kick it over to you.
All right. So I promise this is the last week for a minute that I'm going to have an Elder-related spotlight. But it's not the actual Kiss album, Music from the Elder, this time.
Right.
This time, it's this CD, Ancient Door. I think you've heard us talk about this before, especially recently when we were talking about the Elder. But this is a really, really cool CD by Christopher Bjorjars?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying that right. And then also a lot of parts from Jolene Friedrichsen. It's literally just the two of them. That's it. They've redone the entire Music from the Elder album. And it's fantastic.
Very well.
It's really, really good. We've been jamming to this in the car. And I just love to see kind of a different perspective on the album. Seeing somebody else's interpretation of it. And it's really, really good. I highly recommend it. It says, Ancient Door, a tribute to Music from the Elder.
Yeah, so this came out, I think, in 2021, somewhere around there. And then actually Pasquale sent me that. And so, yeah, kind of like...
From Kiss Army Nation. From Kiss Army Nation podcast.
Absolutely. And yes, like you said, it was a nice alternative to the Elder with modern production. Mm-hmm. There's even like some additional musical parts to it, which I kind of forgot about.
To it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and added on to it in a way that does not detract from the Elder.
Exactly.
Which is very important. There are no new songs. There's no new
lyrics. I don't think.
No new lyrics, but there are some new musical passages that just extend and embellish what already is there.
It just builds on what's already there, and it's beautiful. It's fantastic, and it's like even more dramatic than the original. I even told him when we were listening to just the first song, the fanfare intro, I was like, see, this is what I picture in my head as like the beginning of the Broadway musical version of The Elder.
There you go.
It's just so grand and majestic. It's fantastically produced. Very impressive.
Yeah, and I let Jeb listen to it a while back. He said he loved it, and I haven't heard it in a while. I had listened to it when I first got it, and then maybe once after that, but it's been a while. So in the last episode, I think I told you, well, since you're on a big Elder kick right now, why don't you check out this sort of like new rendition, if you will, and tell me what you think. So I'm glad that you listened to it, and then we're also even wearing the same shirts.
We didn't even acknowledge our matching t-shirts.
Yeah, I got you the Destroyer shirt for Kissmas this year, and then my good friend Johnny got me this one for myself. So
I love that they're both gifts.
We were both gifted the Destroyer shirt. So hey,
so dope.
Maybe one thing in 2024 we can look forward to is maybe some new shirts, some new Kiss swag to wear.
Oh, I'm sure.
But now I'll be honest, as far as me and the KISS Spotlight goes, I am also spotlighting The Ancient Door, because initially I had wanted you to listen to it kind of by yourself on your own, maybe like to and from work, just so you yourself could digest it. And what ended up happening was we both decided to listen to it in my car and go on, a trip and a cruise and all that. And so you never got to listen to it by yourself, because as soon as, we get out of the car, it stays in my car, and then I listen to it on the way to and from work.
Right, so you've actually listened to it more than me at this point.
Yes, so I'm taking ownership of it as my spotlight as well.
Fair.
But again, no, it is fantastic, and I love The Elder. And one thing that was interesting about this was the track listing is in the correct order, in the sense that the original album, when it was released, had The Oath as the opening song, because it was the lead single. And had the songs kind of mixed in a way that ebbed and flowed like a real album,
but
which took away from the story.
Yeah.
This one puts it in I think it was the Japanese, the European, or whatever, the other track listing with the correct listing of the songs, except for the fact on Ancient Door, Odyssey is the second to last.
Yeah, it's weird. We almost thought that they skipped it for a minute when it wasn't in its typical place.
Yeah, Odyssey should be towards the beginning because it's part of the, beginning of the story, and on this version it's actually the second from the bottom. So I don't know why that is. Maybe it was because this is not Kiss's lyrics, it was written by somebody else and just performed by Kiss. Maybe the artist thought that it just fit better at the end.
I mean, I feel like the song is kind of open for interpretation more than some of the other songs, since it wasn't an original for this album.
Sure.
So I'm wondering if maybe Christopher just, as he was listening through this story, thought maybe it would fit better towards the end. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. But I'm just glad it's on there, because we thought it was skipped at first.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's there.
Yeah, we got halfway through and I was like, you know what? For some reason, I'm feeling like the album's gone by way too fast and we haven't heard Odyssey. You're like, yeah, we have it. And we should have just checked the track listing right then and there. But I ended up finding it out, hearing it, and then, showed it to you, and we finished the album. But yeah, so I'm also spotlighting Ancient Door, and then I mentioned Kiss Gods of Thunder, the bootleg that Jeb got me for Christmas.
Still jamming that?
Still jamming that. That's on the turntable. That was what was bumping before we started filming. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same or similar-ish spotlights as the last time, but that's the way it is. Actually, I've also been listening to it, and I mentioned this last time. Well, I restarted again. So I listened through every single Kiss album on Spotify.
Right.
Doing it again.
Okay.
Doing it again, and I'm already on Hot in the Shade. Jeb messaged me and said that he is also listening back through every single Kiss album for the first time since The End of the Road ended. And he's listening to them on vinyl.
Oh, that's cool.
And, of course, he was only on Dress to Kill at that time, so maybe he's on Live by now, or,
surely,
Destroyer or whatever. But I thought it was really cool that he and I both were kind of revisiting every single Kiss album, just in order.
Without even having talked to each other about it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, I want to know what everybody else is listening to. How are you starting off your 2024? And let's go ahead and now get into the actual bigger, broader conversation of the 2024 Kiss podcast. We did one in 2023. We revisited that just to kind of see where we were at and how well we did. We did pretty okay.
Decent.
So let's see how well we do in 2024. But I guess I don't know how to even start the conversation. So I'm just going to go big and say, what do I want to see in 2024 happen in terms of like Kiss or the Kiss sphere and Kiss fandom? Expos.
Yes, 100%. That's probably top of my list.
Indianapolis Kiss Expos.
Yes.
And there has been an inkling of a rumbling of a possible Kiss event happening in 2024.
I'd say it's more than a rumbling at this point, because there's been rumblings that turned out to be just rumors and just talk in the past. But we saw somebody post on Facebook that there was one being planned, and Keith LaRoe actually shared it and said the post was a little premature as for, still in planning stages, but it sounds like he pretty much confirmed that he is working on it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I'm so excited.
I don't know if I told you this, because when that happened, I was definitely making sure to mention it to you. Now, I don't know if I told you this or not, but even before that, even before Keith had shared the post and said, hey, we're trying.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Somebody had messaged the page, the Facebook page. One of our fans messaged the Facebook page with a post from somebody else, the person that Keith shared the post from. Mm-hmm. So basically, Keith shared somebody else's post.
Yeah.
Somebody named Gino posted saying, Indianapolis Kiss Expo, Vegas Kiss Expo. You guys vote down below which one you guys want to see. Keith and I are going to do something big for you guys. And so Keith shared that post and was like, yeah, a little premature, but hopefully we can get something planned, something put together. Well, somebody had sent me a screenshot of that original post, even before Keith got a hold of it.
Okay.
And said, check this out. And so at first glance, I thought, well, that's not a post from actual Keith.
Right.
So I'm not going to get my hopes up.
I'm not going to choose to believe that yet.
But I'm not going to, I can't lie when I say that it got me really excited.
Oh, yeah.
Because just the possibility of that coming back for the first time in...
Almost 5 years.
Oh, wow. Almost 5 years.
Because it was 2019, was it not? Because
that's ridiculous.
COVID had already shut everything down by the time it would have happened in 2020.
I guess you're right, because that's
crazy
wild
to me.
Because Jeb and I were on a streak. We had almost had a 10-year streak, meaning we had gone to every single one of them in Indianapolis as we could, and it was almost a decade. So to think that it's been almost half as long since we've even done one, absurd.
I can't even think about how fast time has passed since 2020. It's messed up.
It's ridiculous. And so when I saw that post, I was like, I'm not going to get my hopes up yet, but I will say I thought it was nice that person kind of was thinking of us. Maybe they do watch the show, or they know we're from Indiana, and we're just like, hey, check us out. So I was super excited, and then I was even more excited when Keith shared it and was like, yeah, we're going to try, because that means, if Keith is behind it, then there's a good chance that not only is it going to happen, it's going to pop off pretty well.
It's going to be good.
It's just that the idea was, the original post was talking about doing an Indianapolis one or a Vegas one.
Yeah.
Because, I guess Vegas is super cool. There's the Monster Mini Golf and the Kiss Museum, but of course Indianapolis is where they've been this whole time. There are a lot of Kiss roots in Indiana.
And so many fans.
And so many fans already here.
Yeah.
And so luckily the fans were pretty, majority vote was Indianapolis.
That makes me so happy.
Which is nice, because everyone's thinking, let's keep the cost as low as possible as far as traveling and hotel and all that. We want to save our money for the merchandise. We want to save our money for the autographs. We want to save our money for everything else there. So, and I totally agree with that. But I'm just hoping that in the next 4 to 5 months, we have some sort of an announcement, because as soon as we do, you guys better believe that we're going to be right back here getting hyped up for some 2024 KISS fan experience, because it's been way too long.
And it's just crazy to think about. I don't know. I already talked about how time has passed so quickly, but in my head it only feels like a couple years since, 2 to 3 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Since the last expo. But if you think about it, last time we went to an expo, we didn't even have this podcast yet. Not even close.
No.
It was way before.
We were posting on Facebook.
Right. With Kiss Army Things was still a thing, but not in this format. So it would be really cool. And we already, had some people that we kind of met up with pretty regularly, but now we know even more people, and we've kind of expanded our circle in the Kiss community. So I'm so excited about the idea of meeting up with people again. In my hopes, my dream for it is that a lot of the people from the Road to Rosemont series might travel, because they're all roughly in the Midwest area. So
interstate to Indy, you know what I mean?
So I'm hoping that everybody would come out. We could do another reunion episode, and it'd just be so awesome.
I would love that, because when we did the Rosemont thing, I don't know if I mentioned it to somebody out loud, but I was like, we need to do this once a year, or we need to find an excuse to do this again. Because the internet is so cool, because conversations like this would normally happen just between us here in the room, or Jeb and I, back when we were kids, and maybe you guys as well, having conversations with your older brothers, older siblings, and younger siblings, and friends from school and all that. But because technology allows us to connect, it's let's take full advantage of that and actually meet in person, and get pictures to actually have forever, and all that. And so one of the cool things about the Indie Expos in particular was that it started out with just my dad and Jeb and I, and his girlfriend at the time and their kids, and it was a family thing. And of course, Jeb and I continued it and brought you on. Yeah. Derek's been with us at a few of these. Yep. We even had Ryan, who's been on our show.
Who was on one of the very first episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the Kiss Army Things podcast. Episode 2 or 3? Okay,
episode 5. But within the first 5 episodes, Ryan was on. So that was really cool. And so now, of course, again, having Rob and Brent and everybody, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows who they are now at this point, because we're all one.
We are one.
We are one, exactly. Yeah, so that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
My hope is that there's an event in 2024 where we can actually meet Bruce or Eric or Ace or Pete or Chris would be incredible.
That'd be awesome.
You know,
I'd love to meet Pete.
To meet a guest, to meet a special guest, a member, a former member, current member, who cares, of KISS.
Yeah.
And to shake their hand, tell them thank you, get their autograph, get pictures, Q&A, just to do that whole thing again.
Oh, I miss it so much.
It'd be great, because what we do here is fine with the podcast, and that's kind of what we're doing, is just kind of having fun with KISS, but I want to go to an event.
Yes.
I want to go to an expo.
Yeah.
I want to drain my bank account and replenish this room. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I'm hoping for. So let me know, guys, if you would be interested in going to a KISS Expo, because if you guys are, I mean, we're going to be there, so if you guys are there, that could be just a really cool meetup for all of us.
Absolutely. We'll make more buttons. We'll make more stickers.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have my own booth and I'll start selling
That'd be
stuff.
awesome.
And everybody can just come visit. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. That does sound fun, but I also want to be able to walk around.
Yeah, explore.
And do things and explore. And yeah, I like going outside in the parking lot, talking to everybody, and then going down the hallway. I like getting some food, coming back, and having that freedom. But that to me is exciting, because that's a vacation, man. Like,
it really
I know
is.
like most people's idea of a vacation is going to the beach, getting a beachside resort, sitting out in the sun. It's like, I would love that, but I know that I can't afford that. So driving an hour to a hotel and meeting a bunch of people in KISS shirts, that's my kind of vacation. That's my kind of vacation. So that's just one thing that I would like to see in 2024. Do you have any other thoughts on KISS Expos or KISS conventions or things like that?
No, but I'm with you. That's probably my number one. There's other things that we'll talk about here in a minute that I'm hoping for, but that's got to be number one.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's going to happen. Whether it's, I'm hoping they can kind of get it together soon enough that they can do it in the springtime like they typically do. It's usually in like May.
Eric's birthday.
Exactly.
It's always Eric's birthday.
Yeah, pretty much always. So that would be really awesome. And if not, if it's still too early in the planning stages, I mean, even fall would be really cool. But I feel like they can make it happen for the spring. That's still a few months away.
Yeah.
I know Keith has all the connections, and obviously we know that the tour is over, so he's got...
Bingo.
You would assume that he would have plenty of time to focus on something like this, so...
That was one of my concerns about why the conventions had gone away, because of the expos, because I was thinking, like, okay, you know, COVID, obviously everybody's concerned about, you know, germs and staying healthy.
Yeah.
And, you know, maintaining one's health and all that. And so when you're around a bunch of people, you just never know. Mm-hmm. So I understood that. And plus, COVID just caused everything to rise in price. So I was thinking maybe those things were the two biggest things. But he actually said in a post that because the tour is over, there's so much wiggle room, so much freedom now, that they just couldn't do that with the tour.
I get it.
Even though they were doing a pretty good job of balancing it before.
Right.
It just probably became
But this tour was
too much.
This tour was another level, though.
This tour was a lot.
So I do get it, but I'm really excited.
This was the biggest tour
ever
that KISS had ever done. Not just in production wise, but I'm pretty sure it was their most gross tour and their most attended tour.
I'm sure it was.
And in 4 years, hopefully that's true.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that's just one thing. Again, I wasn't sure how to start the episode off, so I was like, let's just go big.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. There's another thing that I wanted to also bring up too, and that was the possibility of Gene Simmons' solo band returning.
Okay, yes, I've heard people talking about this.
Because there have been rumors and there have been, you know, things being discussed, and then there's been things shot down. So what I wanted to bring up was this. I know that there has been a rumor going around that the Gene Simmons solo band has scheduled dates in South America ready to go. Now, I didn't see any of that or hear any of that, so I'm not sure what that was referring to. But Christina Vitagliano, who works with Gene on the bass experience and also owns the Kiss Monster Mini Golf experience in Las Vegas and helps run Kiss World and that whole thing out there, she confirmed and posted on social media that actually, her post says, the current social media posts stating that the Gene Simmons Band is playing in South America 2024 are not true. While Gene is planning future performances for the Gene Simmons Band, nothing has been announced, nor have there been band member announcements of any kind. Gene will post when events/dates are valid.
Okay.
So I guess somebody had posted that there was a possibility that Eric Singer was going to be joining Gene and his solo band, and then somebody had asked Bruce Kulick if he would join Gene, and Bruce replied that yeah, he would, but as long as Gene asked.
Right, he's like, I haven't
There
been
has
asked.
to be
Yeah.
there has to be an invite. There has to be
It's so funny when people ask questions
yeah,
like that.
there has to be a reason to. But so even though there are no confirmed dates, we have a slight confirmation that Gene is wanting to plan something.
Yeah, she straight up said that he is planning it. So he wants to get out there.
That is exciting to me.
That's awesome.
Somehow I missed the last time that Gene was around on the Gene Simmons solo band tour. He was in, I think, Anderson, Indiana.
When?
It would have been 2017.
Oh, dang.
Right around there. And somehow Jeb and I didn't get to go. You and I didn't get to go. And I wish I could think back and go back to that time and slap myself and figure out why, because I did see a lot of footage from those events and from those dates, and they were incredible. It was Gene. First of all, I think Gene's band was the same or similar to the band that Ace used.
Okay.
Because Ace was like, "Hey, can I use your band?" Gene said, "You have my great. They're good guys."
Yeah, I was gonna say they're great musicians.
You would love them, so yeah, go for it. And so Ace used for a while a lot of those same musicians, but they were a really tight band, and Gene was doing stuff that you just normally don't hear in Kiss shows. I mean, I know Charisma was one of the songs, maybe some songs from his solo album, and just rare deep Kiss cuts, like Two Time or maybe not, but like that level of deep cuts, deep cuts that you just don't get from normal Kiss shows or even Kiss cruises. So I'm hoping that at some point in 2024, when Gene's ready, because right now I'm sure he's just enjoying time with his family,
just relaxing, hopefully,
finally enjoying being off tour, but Gene, he can't stay not working for too long at all. So hopefully there's going to be some planning happening. There's going to be some announcements for dates, maybe in the summer and the fall. Because that's what I want, is to go to, even at the Expos, they'll have performances. Like we saw Frehley's Comet. We saw Eric Singer with Ace Frehley, Bruce Kulick, and Bob Kulick and all that, So even though those amazing things were happening, they were taking place in these really cool, intimate, small environments where you don't have to pay, and maybe we will have to pay a lot of money for this, but you know how concert tickets get and fees and all that. So it'll be nice to just go back to these smaller events where you are surrounded by diehard fans, like-minded fans, and your hotel's already right there. Yeah. It's like, again, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to is, we've enjoyed 9 shows on this end of the road tour, traveling from city to city, getting hotels and interstates and traffic and all that. But I'm going to really enjoy kind of laying low, and maybe Kiss will too. Gene gets to play the songs he wants to play, not have to wear the garb and deal with big venues and all that, and he can kind of do what he wants to do at his own level. Yeah, see, that's what I want out of Kiss members in 2024, is to still be able to hopefully have opportunities and beyond of course, and beyond, but still have opportunities to see them, but in more intimate, small settings, because we've seen the large scale stuff. It's awesome, and we've experienced these big bombastic concerts, but there's something equally magical about, and maybe even more in some ways, about a small venue, and just like being able to make eye contact with them. You know what I was gonna say, when we saw them in Soundcheck, with Dayton, it's like that was the perfect experience, where they can actually see everybody. You know what I mean? There's something different about that. Well, and it's like, it would be like combining the 2013 Gene Simmons Kiss Expo with the Soundcheck. Yeah. And that idea. Gosh, that'd be so awesome. And of course, he could do it the Kiss way and do packages and different levels and different tiers. If you just want to see the show, see the show. If you want to go backstage and meet Gene, go ahead. If you want to get the bass he plays that night or whatever, they can continue doing the crazy stuff they always do. Yeah. And I'm here for it. But just to be able to go to see, Gene Simmons, and his band play live and play some of these really cool songs in an intimate setting is a nice thought. So maybe we'll get something like that in 2024, and even Soul Station. I was about to bring it up. Okay, waiting. For sure, go. Yes, that's my other thing that I'm really hoping for this year is another Soul Station album. I don't know if Paul's planning on doing another album, if he's planning on touring with them again, but I really hope so. I would love to see another album and a small tour. It'd be so awesome to get a chance to see that live, because that is just fantastic. And so that's what I'm hoping for, because I loved the first Soul Station album. I know it's, a lot different than what we're used to, but I think at this stage of Paul's life, I think that's
that's the route he needs to go. And I, just like you said with Gene, you know, not being able to stop working for too long, I feel the same way about Paul.
Do you? For sure.
So I do think that he'll want to at least do something creative, like even if it's not, you know, even if he doesn't want to tour, if he just wants to do a new album and then focus on his paintings and galleries and stuff. I want to see more creative stuff from him.
I wonder about Paul, though, because I feel like even though he may be like Gene in that respect where, you know, he can't sit idle for too long, I wonder if Paul would be really quick and content to just do what he wants to do, as opposed to, you know, like not going out and performing like
that's
that.
That's what I am saying. Maybe he would do another album, a Soul Station album potentially, or project of some kind, but maybe not a tour.
Because Paul is he's finicky, and that's okay. We all are. You know, we all have ideas and wants, and then we get to a period in our life where our ideas change.
Yeah, of course.
Because he was saying that Kiss was going to do one more album after Monster.
Right.
You know, like they put Monster out and they said, we're going to do one more. It's going to come out in a few years. We're going to get going on it after this tour, you know. And then it became, we'll do one when the time is right, when we feel it's ready. And then it became, you know, I think we're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the time never came.
The time never came, and he felt like, well, with the way the industry is and the fact that none of our fans really bought why bother, you know? Why not do something for me and something that I want to do? And if people want it, then they're good. So he did tease and say that he was going to do more Soul Station.
Good.
But again, we
can't 100%.
He could get to a period where he said, you know what? I don't feel like I need to. I feel like, you know, I did what I wanted, and then now I'm going to move into this new chapter and do this. Because
I was going to say, he could do something that we've never seen before.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if he does something with his cooking.
Yeah, okay.
Like, what
Interesting.
if, like, I mean, this is definitely one of those far out there ideas, but it's not out the realm of possibility where an online, whether it's a YouTube or a separate thing, Paul Stanley cooking show.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing.
Because he himself could fund that. It would be a camera in his kitchen.
Yeah.
Hire a couple people to do that filming and the editing and just, you know, take care of all that nonsense. Yeah. Let him do what he wants to do. Film in his house and bring his friends in.
That would be so cool.
Because you know that Paul has all kinds of celebrity friends.
Of course, yeah.
And people who maybe are not celebrities but are well-known, rich, and that he just wants to either impress or feed or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe they have ideas that they can show him how to cook something. Like, that would be something just outside the realm of rock and roll that Paul himself would want to do.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
I love that idea.
Like, I've traveled from city to city across the globe time and time again, playing the same songs, doing the same things over and over again. Now I want to do something that I want to do.
From home.
And I love that he's posting his... I remember over on Christmas break, he said, if you don't like meatballs, you're in the wrong house tonight. You know what I mean? That was so funny. And then people were commenting like, I read that in your on-stage Paul Stanley voice.
Yes.
And that to me was funny. You know what I mean? So I would like to see, you know, Paul get out there and, you know, teach us his meatball recipe. Yeah. Teach us how to make the Paul Stanley pizza. Teach us how to do his Paul Stanley pizza. He seems to be really into Italian.
Yeah, well, and he has posted...
Pastas.
Yeah, he has posted so many pictures over the past few years of meals that he's made that are just gorgeous and look fantastic.
Paul, call me. I'm serious.
Seriously.
If I mean, we did the Kiss cocktail.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I would... Dude, Paul, just get a hold of me, man. I will bring everything, and we will do the Paul Stanley cooking show.
That's such a fun idea.
That would be a fun idea.
I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility. I mean, we know that he's really big into painting, and he, you know, really branched out musically with Soul Station. Like, Paul is a very multifaceted individual. He's not just a rock star.
He's a very creative guy.
He's not just a rock star. That's like a very small piece of the pie, the Paul Stanley pie, if you will.
Right. Yeah.
So I like that idea.
I'm just interested to see what the band members are going to do.
Me too.
Because now that they don't have time to be on tour, they can do literally everything we want. I think fans right now think that there's just going to be nothing to look forward to until the Avatars in 2027. Look, if you don't like the Avatars, don't even pay attention to it, because we're going to have all kinds of stuff happening in the meantime that's going to take our minds off of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we also can't expect things from them at, you know, anytime soon necessarily.
No. I'm just saying that, like, I can't wait to see what they want to do, because it's tough to think that they're just going to go away and disappear, which if they do, that's their opinion, that's their decision.
That's their prerogative, but I don't think they will.
They have worked so hard for 50 years and more than they could literally just, you know, spend time doing nothing with their families, or, you know, doing only things with their families and nothing in the public eye, and that would be totally fine. They've earned it. But I find it hard to believe that Gene would not want to be in the public eye, and, you know, Paul not doing paintings, not cooking is just, you know, it's too far off. And so the other thing I wanted to mention, since we're talking about band members, former members, and their activities, is Bruce Kulick.
Okay.
Because did I tell you that Bruce officially left Grand Funk Railroad?
You did not tell me
I
that.
did not tell you that?
No.
So Bruce posted and said that he has, after 23 years, officially decided to leave Grand Funk Railroad. And said that his reasonings is because he's at the age where he wants to wind down and start thinking about what he wants to do, maybe doing his own solo music, and he even mentioned writing a book.
Wow.
He said that I feel like I have a good story to tell.
I think he does.
I would like to put together a book. And that right there, I will probably say, is the one thing that I'm looking forward to in 2024 and beyond.
Yeah.
/ the most realistic.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening.
I can see there being a Kiss Expo 100% for sure. I can see Gene doing something, but when I think about there being a Bruce Kulick book, that's what I want.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Like, that's what I want, because we have books from all 4 original members, and maybe, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe they do books too as well. You know, if Gene does another one or Paul does his 3rd or 4th or whatever. But we have not heard anything from Bruce in that context.
Yeah.
We have heard nothing from Eric in that context. Tommy, and I don't know about you guys, but I would be very much interested in reading a book from Tommy and Eric.
Yeah.
And Bruce, especially
I think
Bruce.
Those 3 in particular, I'd be more interested to hear their perspective than anybody else. Just because I feel like they would have, especially Bruce, just kind of the most, balanced and, level-headed perspective of everything.
Oh, yeah.
As kind of an outsider coming in to the band.
Yeah, it wouldn't be one of those things where you read for the dirt and for the drama.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm into.
No, and I don't think he would write it in that way.
Because if I'm being 100% honest, I never, ever read Ace or Peter's book. I never read Ace's book because I knew that Ace's book, he had to have other people confer with him if that it was even true.
Yeah.
And Peter's book was nothing more than, I'm just going to be as mean, hateful, and rude as I can to sort of compensate for what I perceive as the same level of hate from everybody else.
Yeah.
And so I was not interested in reading something that may or may not be true. And I know that Gene's book, in a lot of ways, was not true because he swore to God that Kiss Alive was actually live and there was nothing done to it. So that right there is a lie.
Which we know is not true.
But I was really surprised to read from both Gene and Paul's books sequences and stories and things that happened that were in both of their books almost word for word.
Right, that lined up.
And Paul made an effort to, kind of like I did it with Peter and Ace's, Paul made an effort not to read Gene's.
Yeah. Because
he was not interested in reading what Gene had to say and Kiss and Make Up and reading, just even thinking about the things that Gene, he said, I don't care. If people want to believe what they want to believe, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to write my book the way I know things to be, and here you go. So, as a fan on the outside, reading Paul's and Gene's, I was pretty impressed with the level of overlapping. I want to hear what Eric and Tommy and Bruce have to say.
Yeah.
Because they have been, Bruce is very honest and very open. If you ask Bruce a question, he'll give you his answer. He's been very vocal about the last Kiss show in New York, about how he felt that Kiss 3 was not represented and how he wasn't invited. And so, if you ask Bruce a question, he'll give you an answer. But as far as his life story, I feel like Kiss fans know it, but we don't know it.
Right. Well, and even when he does give those honest answers, even if it's negative, he's very respectful about it too.
And that's what I like. That's what I appreciate.
Me too, because he's never coming after people or trying to throw somebody under the bus or trying to make somebody look bad. He is just telling the truth in an actual respectful and gentle way, and that's one of the things I love about Bruce.
Absolutely, and Tommy and Eric as well.
Yeah.
I feel like they have been particularly quiet just because, they know that when it comes to interviews, people want to hear from Gene and Paul.
Yeah.
If the whole band is going to be in an interview, the microphone's going to come to Gene or Paul first.
100%.
But when it comes to them, they're there to answer and they're there to participate. That's their job.
Yeah.
Is to be involved, to participate, and to help carry this. But we also haven't heard anything in great length from them as far... Kiss fans know how Tommy and Eric came into the band. I feel like most of us should understand how Tommy and Eric came into the band, but to hear their firsthand accounts,
right,
and to hear their stories from being on tour, their stories with the fans,
There's
both
so many
good
stories
and
we
bad.
haven't heard that they know.
There is so much history that has left to be uncovered, has yet to be uncovered, that I feel like that's what we're going to see in the next, several years, handful of years. So I don't know when Tommy and Eric will be inclined, if they'll even be inclined to release books, but to know that Bruce is thinking about it is a good thing.
Yeah, and he even, I think it was maybe in that article that we were reading where he was talking about the last show and everything. He even said something about how, going forward, he just wants to focus on Kisstory, specifically his part of Kisstory, and celebrating that. So I think that's another indication that he's really thinking about his time in the band and wanting to honor and celebrate that with the fans. So that's really exciting to me.
Absolutely. So I guess those are things that are more related to the members and what we could maybe possibly see in 2024. So now let's talk about more of the releases, right?
Yes,
the things
actual KISS releases.
The actual KISS releases, because one of the things that stunned a lot of fans was the lack of box sets that came out, because
we didn't have a single one.
There was one in Destroyer 2021, I think, and then 2022 Creatures, and then 2023 we were maybe expecting one for, the first album, or let's see, Lick It Up came out in 83. Now they did do a Lick It Up anniversary release, but not a box set per se. But anyway, so we were all just kind of wondering if there was going to be a box set, and there wasn't. So now that it's 2024, the band's off tour. See, my sort of thinking behind it was, my way of thinking was like, look, they're just going to focus on the tour.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The end of the road tour is the focus right now. There doesn't need to be any Indianapolis KISS Expos, because there should be no way to meet Eric and Tommy except for on tour, on the meet and greet, and makeup with the full experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also everybody's too busy spending their money on shows to be spending their money at an expo.
There should be no way to buy tickets to an expo, because all that money should be going to tickets for the tour.
Exactly.
You shouldn't be seeing any of the members play acoustic on stage. You should be seeing them on a sound check.
Right.
Don't spend your merch here. Spend your money on the new tour book.
Yeah.
And, let's focus on the final 50. So that I totally understand. So now that we're in 2024, it's like, okay, we're going to be getting more paychecks. We're going to be getting more money. We're going to be hungry. What are we going to be fed? We need more KISS content. And so the box set, I think, was a really great way to honor Kisstory. And KISS fans right now feel like Kisstory has not been honored.
Yeah. That's the general vibe.
So how are they going to honor Kisstory? I mean, I will say, I think we mentioned that KISS, that Lick It Up 4th anniversary release was pretty epic in terms of all the pictures and the goodies and the things that they did. So, okay, great. The Creatures box set, amazing.
Fantastic.
The Destroyer box set with all the, the stage drawings and the replica tour book. It's like they could do any number of box sets, but the big one that we want to see is the first album.
Yeah.
This is 2024. This is the 50th anniversary since the release of KISS's first album.
I think it has to happen this year.
Something.
Yeah.
And if it's going to happen, it probably should happen pretty soon.
Yeah.
Whether it's pre-order in January and then it ships in late February, early March, or pre-order in February with the anniversary, I don't know. But if something's going to happen, it probably should happen pretty soon. And I wonder what the fan reaction will be if we don't get one. Because it's one of those things where it's like if KISS does it, they're going to charge a lot of money.
Right.
And KISS fans are going to be upset that it's a lot of money. But if they don't do a box set at all, fans are going to be upset that they didn't get a chance to spend that money. So
they can't win, but I do think that it needs to happen. But I don't know if it needs to happen like now.
You don't think so? Okay.
I should know this, but what's the actual
February
anniversary?
18th.
Okay, well,
or February 8th or whatever. It's February 74.
Okay, well that is understandable then. If we want it to line up with the anniversary, I get that.
So maybe pre-order on the day.
Maybe, because at the same time, I can also see them like wanting to give a little bit of time, because everybody did just spend all their money on the tour and Kissmas and the last couple shows and all the stuff that came along with
Holiday,
that.
New Year, hours are getting cut in January. Yeah.
So like personally, and I feel like a lot of working class KISS fans probably would feel the same way, that they might like a little bit of extra time.
Which I get.
But
Me too.
At the same time, lining it up with the anniversary is also important. So I think that would be fair. Maybe introducing it and introducing the idea and doing pre-orders next month. And then maybe it coming out in like March or April or something like that.
It just makes me wonder what's going to happen, because we've been so used to these really cool anniversary releases or box sets, even the soundboards, and we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. All that stuff, we've kind of been used to it, but it makes us wonder, is that stuff going to continue? Because it seemed like to me that Gene and Paul were the ones that were sort of like getting that stuff underway.
Yeah.
And are Gene and Paul still in control?
We have no
because
idea.
George Lucas signed a contract saying, Lucasfilm, you own Star Wars, I don't anymore.
Right.
My hands are tied, So I wonder if there was ever a deal where after December 2nd, starting December 3rd, Gene and Paul have no longer any say in the KISS Corporation. What happens if some other, committee or some other, group is the one leading this? Is Universal still involved? We just don't know.
I feel like we would know if there had been an official sale already.
You think so?
Yeah, because I feel like those records are public. And so I feel like we would know if it had officially happened.
I feel like Gene and Paul would never sign it away completely.
I don't think so either. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe.
We've had a lot of discussions about this, but
yeah, we have.
I just feel like we would know if it had officially happened. Now, is there a transition happening right now? Yeah, I think so. Definitely. I don't think they're going to have as much control as they did, like, willingly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do still think they'll have a say in these kind of things. And I wonder if they've already, back when they started doing the box sets and the Off the Soundboards a couple years ago, I wonder if they already have, like, a 5-year schedule, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like these things are usually planned pretty far in advance.
Right.
So I'm wondering if they've already planned and approved, what the next couple of years are going to look like. I won't let myself believe that they're just not going to release things anymore. And I think if they're smart, they'll see the reactions that a lot of fans are having right now with the way December 2nd went down. I feel like I would hope that they would see that and be like, okay, obviously the Avatar thing is not going to happen for a while. Let's put out some things that are going to make them happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like, KISS fans, we still need something to feel like we're being a part of KISS. Because even though KISS as a touring act has ended, we still don't want the KISS experience and the KISS legacy and, the KISS fun, if you will, to die. And the fans have a pretty good, handle on things where we do our YouTube videos and our podcasts and all of our shows, and Rick with his fanzine, and
yeah, we try to keep the magic alive.
Buttons. Yeah, the fans definitely in some way are in control.
Yeah, and
have a say and can just make up our own fun and all that. But it is nice to have some sort of official thing happening as well, because like those box sets. I mean, going through those box sets and looking at all of the photographs and again the replica tour books. And just the different goodies that they put in was so immersive and so much fun.
Yeah.
And it was worth the money that we paid. I don't want them to climb any higher, because eventually things just become out of reach and then you just miss out.
Right.
And then fall victim to people reselling online and all that. So, but I would like to see a first album box set and have a replica, tour kit from 74.
That'd be amazing.
And have, high-res photographs of some of those early images of the band and some outtakes, and then also hear some demos and some remastered audio. I mean, they did the whole treatment, Dolby Atmos, the Dolby Atmos thing with the albums. I mean, they could give the first album the same treatment. Those Eddie Kramer demos from 73.
Yeah.
Some incredible treatment so that we could hear KISS's first album, hear these songs in a way we never have before, and get this experience. So that's my want. That's one of my wants too, is that we'll have something cool like that.
I would love for KISS albums to be redone in the way that the Beatles are redoing a lot of their old albums with the technology that Peter Jackson and his team came up with during Get Back.
Yeah.
Because it's just fantastic, and especially on those earliest albums. If they were to do, a first album box set or something, I would just love to hear the audio as crystal clear as the way they're redoing some of these Beatles albums.
Absolutely, because I mean the album sounds pretty good already.
It does, yeah.
So it would just be cool to hear, because Jeb is starting to get into the audiophile sphere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about it. I have two small speakers and a turntable that when I drop a needle on it, it plays music. And that's all I need. But Jeb, like, was really immersed in the whole Destroyer experience and was getting like all these fancy speakers to try and hear every level. And so, but the first album ranks very high for him.
Yeah.
It's like in his top 5, I think. So I think he would really dig that. I know plenty of fans, especially if you were there in 74, 75, getting that album back when it was first on the shelves. I mean, that's going to be just insane.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. And I want that experience too, because I wasn't there.
And that's the cool thing about them re-releasing them in this way, is it almost like gives those of us that weren't there and weren't alive or weren't Kiss fans at the time kind of the feeling and experience of hearing it, not for the first time, but for the first time in a new way.
Yeah.
Like you were there, which is really cool.
Yeah, so that's, again, just one thing. And then I wanted to also segue into soundboards. Mm-hmm. We mentioned soundboards. So there was only one soundboard, I believe, in 2023.
Towards the beginning, like April, right?
And that was Poughkeepsie.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, there were 3 in 2022.
There were 3?
There were 3.
Dang, they really were like
Virginia Beach,
pushing them out.
Donington, and the Love Gun 77 Alive 2 tour.
Yeah.
Right around there. There was 3. And then Poughkeepsie was the last one. And there was allegedly going to be another one, a 5th or a 6th one. And it was supposed to be, allegedly, a soundboard recording of one of the Sail Away acoustic shows on the Kiss cruise.
Interesting.
And that one was supposed to come out prior to Poughkeepsie, but was actually flip-flopped at the last minute. And so it makes me wonder if they just flopped it to get Poughkeepsie out first to celebrate Mark St. John, or if they shelved the other one and said, let's kill this series early and go ahead and release Poughkeepsie in place of the Kiss Cruise performance.
I'm hoping they just flip-flopped them, because at the time, I don't know if you remember this, but like everybody was asking for 80s stuff. Everybody was asking for Eric Carr. And they actually did like a poll on Instagram or something like that at the time too, asking people. So I do think they were listening to the fans, and that's why Poughkeepsie came out when it did. So I'm hoping that they didn't just shelf the other one completely, because I would love to see that.
And again, it kind of makes you wonder, what's happening post December 2nd? What's happening in 2024? What are, who... And it sucks because it's like, who owns what? I hate that.
Yeah, it sucks not knowing.
For us fans, man, this is just fun. This is real life.
Yeah.
For everybody else, it's their bread and butter. It's their livelihood. If they don't,
their business.
It's their business, and so it's 2 different worlds that we live in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and it sucks. But it just makes me wonder what other soundboards we could get, if we will get that final one. I just want that final one, even if the series, because it technically cannot continue forever.
Right.
I don't need to have an entire shelf full of just off the soundboards, and then have this other one where it's the first album, second album, Dress to Kill, all that stuff.
It's got to end at some point.
Yes.
Because it's cool, but like, how many people are actually going back and listening to these on the regular?
On the regular.
They're cool, but...
Donington, Tokyo, sure, but Virginia Beach,
no.
The Alive 2, and... Poughkeepsie, maybe perhaps not. Those are more historical releases. But I still want that 6th and that final one at least.
Yeah.
And it just kind of makes me wonder if it's going to happen, because they did release the Kiss Icons vinyl, but that technically was last year.
Oh, it's true. Yep.
So that could have fallen in the that could have been a last minute, just get it out beforehand.
Right.
But I want to know what's going to happen in 2024. Are we even going to get our anniversary releases?
Yeah.
Because in 2023, we saw Psycho Circus. There was Lick It Up. And
Revenge.
There was Revenge. Alive 3. Oh, I think there was Revenge in 2022. And then...
that was in 2022?
Revenge came out in 92, so the 30th would have been 2022. But Alive 3 was last year. Maybe that's what you think.
Probably what I'm thinking.
Yeah, there was a Kiss Alive 3. So there was all these anniversaries. Really cool releases, vinyl releases, merch releases, absolutely incredible. And so I hope that continues.
I don't think that'll stop.
It has to continue.
I don't think
but again,
stop.
it makes you wonder, who's in control?
Yeah.
Will we see that kind of stuff? Will we see something else? But in 2024, what are some of the anniversaries that we have? We already talked about the first album. Duh.
That's the biggest one that everybody's talking about, I feel like.
Right, but 2024... What's the 4s? Well, 74, you have Hotter Than Hell.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the first album in the spring and fall. Then you have Hotter Than Hell, 50th in October.
Mm-hmm.
So we could get 2 box sets, ideally.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
That would be incredible. Because, okay, also, Animalize. Animalize was 84. So that would be the 40th for Animalize.
That'd be so awesome.
Now, 94, I don't think they would do Kiss My Ass or anything like that. 04 was Rock the Nation DVD. That was 05, so no, nothing there. But basically, we have Animalize, Hotter Than Hell, and the first album, or the big anniversaries.
Yeah.
And so I hope that those are acknowledged.
Definitely, in some way, whether it is a box set or just one of those releases. I think the first album needs a box set, in my opinion. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I feel like we're not going to have an inkling of who's in control or what the future is going to look like until we see the first release. Because things will be released. I know they will. Because KISS is continuing in some form. And the Avatar thing isn't until 2027. They will want to be making money until then in other ways. 100%. It's still a business no matter who's running it. So things will be released. It'll just be interesting to see if they're gonna...
What and how.
Yeah, and it'll just be interesting to see if they're gonna stick with the same vibe that we've had these last few years, or if it's gonna be something completely different. We have no idea.
It's been getting crazy these past few years, in the best way possible, but
also
also the most financially destructive way possible. And so maybe there'll be a rebuilding in 2024 where we just don't have anything and we can all just save our money and buy something else. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it is too early to tell. It's January 6th. We're filming on January 6th. So it's way too early to tell. But it just makes me wonder what's going to happen. So we talked about soundboards, talked about box sets. What about greatest hits releases?
You think we'll have more greatest hits?
That is something that I can definitely see happening. Because it is so easy to just crap out a greatest hits record and put it on the shelves, as opposed to going through the great lengths of putting together these massive box sets where you have to clear rights and... get all this stuff boxed up and stuff. But when I think about 10 years ago, when KISS was on the 40th anniversary tour, they did KISS 40, which is like one of the greatest.
It's fantastic.
And definitely the most...
like thorough.
All-encompassing KISS greatest hits release was KISS 40. It's 2 discs, 20 songs roughly a piece, with 40 songs, one from every album.
Covers every era.
And then some.
Yeah.
And a total celebration of then 40 years of KISS. So it makes me wonder if there's going to be a KISS 50. Maybe. Or a 50th anniversary release where, maybe they include some of the stuff from off the soundboards or whatever like that,
Okay, interesting.
And they are inclined to add even more stuff. Maybe they have something from the end of the road tour, or some sound check stuff. Or anything, you know what I mean? It just makes me wonder, because greatest hits, I feel like, are the one thing that have happened pretty continuously.
Yeah.
I mean, there was KISS 40, and then there was even KISS World a few years before that. We just got KISS Icon. I mentioned that.
We just got one.
We just got one.
Yeah.
But I feel like with KISS 50, it could be like a whole another KISS 40 thing again.
Yeah.
Without redoing what they did with KISS 40. Because KISS 40 was taking each lead single from each album and each live release, and then some, and putting it in one compilation. They could do something totally different.
Yeah, if they
with
do
KISS
that,
50.
If they do that, I do hope that they dig a little deeper for it, and it's less of a greatest hits and more of a really well thought out compilation of fan favorites. You know what I mean?
Call it KISS Cuts and have it be Anything for My Baby all the way, and have it be deep cuts from the album, Take Me Down Below, or Paralyzed, and different cuts from the albums that you just never would hear live or ever hear any other way. Yeah,
if they do it, I do hope that there's some care taken with it, and it's not just like the KISS Icons thing was cool. The packaging was cool, but the track list was pretty basic.
Oh yeah. The KISS Icon, I bought it because I wanted to buy something, and I wanted
KISS, and
I listened to it, and it was great.
Right.
It was a very, very cool, very, very fun overview of 70s KISS.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was all 70s KISS.
It was all 70s KISS. It was all the biggest hits that you would expect.
Great.
Cool.
Fine.
But I do hope that if they're going to do something else like that, another greatest hits or compilation of some kind, that more thought and care is given to it in the same way that they did with KISS 40.
It just worries me, though, because we saw a post where Best Buy was taking down all their physical media in 2024. And so it's just another... which I know we're not they would never sell these Kiss box sets or anything in Best Buy, but I bought Kiss 40 from Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least they were selling a Best Buy exclusive where it came with a t-shirt and it was in like a cool little box as opposed to just a single jewel case. It was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of things aren't going to happen anymore, where you're not going to go to Best Buy and Target. I haven't seen a Kiss release in Target, and I couldn't tell you how long.
Yeah.
When was the last time? I think it might have been buying the Blu-ray for Detroit Rock City in Target back in like 2015.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I have not seen anything. Well, okay, there were some Kiss action figures and things like that being sold, but I'm talking about like a Kiss musical release.
Yeah.
The only thing Target's going to sell is Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and Olivia Rodrigo. They're not, there's going to be no rock and roll, no heavy metal, no anything like that. So even if Kiss was to do some sort of release, it would be an KOL only thing.
Right.
And I think a lot of fans are kind of sick and tired of KOL.
Definitely.
Because they cannot get their customer service in check.
No, it's a mess.
They constantly oversell. There were fans who bought their golden ticket off... I'm tired of that word.
Yeah.
But there have been fans who bought their golden ticket off of KOL only to get a response back saying, hey, your order has been refunded or been canceled because there is not enough stock. Meaning they continue to take orders.
That's insane to me.
And that happens.
It's so easy to not do.
And that happens every single time. Whenever there's a release, like a vinyl release, people buy a picture disc, people are always getting emails saying, hey, we're sorry, but there was not enough quantity to fulfill your order. Your order's being canceled. Refunds going to your account. This happens every single time.
I'm sorry, but that's such an easy fix. Like that. Like, you can't tell me that a capable computer person, I don't even know, but
yeah, a programmer,
a
website
coder,
administrator,
can't set things to where you can only sell to a certain amount,
yes.
and then it will automatically list sold
500
out.
quantity. Do your program.
Why
if
even allow
quantity
that?
Exceeds 500, no. You know what I mean? It's like
that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, and it's funny because I know they changed shipping companies or whatever a few months ago.
Yeah,
and
last year.
Yeah, and everybody thought that was going to make things better. And
it did, but by 30%.
Barely, and it still seems like people have a ton of issues.
Well, and even with my Psycho Circus merchandise, I purchased that in September.
Right, everything.
When they announced it. Everybody got their vinyl immediately. I didn't get my trading cards and button set until November or December.
December, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So, and they said they kept saying it'd be pushed back. They said, "Oh, sorry, it'd be pushed back. Oh, it's pushed back to November," and I didn't get it until December. So,
yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work out because if Kiss is going to continue to do these anniversary releases and these specialized things, it's going to have to be better care is going to have to be taken because it seems like folks are very much getting fed up with KOL, and even the folks who are just wanting to give them the benefit of the doubt and just get that product.
Right.
Even we're getting, tired of it. So again, 2024 is going to be an interesting year. Could see a bunch of releases. Could see band members.
See absolutely nothing.
So we could be absolutely nothing. It could be us here every Sunday going crickets. You know what I mean? We'll
be making up our own topics to talk
about.
Yeah, no, we don't need things to be happening.
No. We'll have content, but at the same time, I love.
Talking about current things.
Current events and being involved in what's happening now and, celebrating Kiss and continuing the fun and all that. So, yeah. Speaking of stuff, is it time to open some stuff? Because
I think so.
I have something that I guarantee nobody saw this coming. You guys did not expect me to start 2024 off like this.
Oh, here we go.
So, let me show you what I have for you today. This is the Kiss On Tour board game.
That is so cool.
From 1978. Oh, I know, the bottom is very much... the box is falling apart. But, of course, it's from 1978. But have you guys ever seen this? I have never seen this. I have seen this, but I've never actually held one or laid eyes on one.
That is so cool.
I know, folks are going, I've got 4. Well, good for you. I have never laid eyes on one in person. And so I now have my very own Kiss On Tour game.
That's in great shape overall.
You can see right there, boom, 1978
wow.
coin management.
Yep.
There you go. Ages 7 through adult. Hey, I'm an adult.
Yep.
So boom, there you go. I am super, super happy with this. I stole this from somebody. These things are not cheap, and I got this on an eBay auction for dirt cheap. I've paid more for t-shirts.
Wow.
I've paid more for modern day t-shirts.
What a great find.
I've paid more for end of the road t-shirts than I paid for this, and that is a true blessing, because this is one of those things that, like, I mean, guys, look around. My collection is very much of my own generation, and I love that. But I never get a chance to get my hands on something as cool and vintage as this.
Yeah, any altcoin stuff like that.
Any altcoin stuff like this is really cool. And I have a few 70 things, spread apart. I see one right over there. But when I had a chance to buy this, and when I won it, I was beside myself. And this actually came before the new year, but we were so caught up with Kissery that I thought, you know what? I'm not even going to open this until the beginning of the new year. This is how I'm going to kick off
I love it.
my 2024. And you know what I want to do?
What?
I want to play this on the channel.
We should.
I want to do a video where you, me, Jeb, and we'll just play the Kiss on Tour board. And I know it's not the greatest board game.
It's probably very simple, but I'm excited. Have you opened it at all?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, and I'm about to right now. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have not opened it, but I want to open it.
Okay.
Because there should be something else in here. If I'm not mistaken, there should be something else in here. So let's see. Okay, here's the board game, or the board itself,
right?
Which comes in 2 pieces.
Yeah, they'll lock together.
You get to lock them together like that. You guys can't see it, but that's because it's facing me. But anyway, so is this it right here? I hope. Okay, I believe this is it. Yes. So check this out. I'm going to show her first, and I'll let you guys take a look at that. So. Can you read? Is there a Is there a date on there anywhere that you can see? If not, that's okay. This is a temporary tattoo.
That's what it is.
From 1976.
Oh my god.
This is from the Kiss Army kits in 1976. And I also had a chance to buy this and could not pass it up because, again, some of these things, for whatever reason, just because it's old, it's somehow this I can see.
An iron-on
transfer. Thank you. You're right. I'm sorry. She was right. Yes, not a temporary tattoo. It's an iron-on T-shirt transfer.
That is
from the Kiss Army kits in 1976.
That's very cool.
And so, this side down. Yep, fabric. Yeah, you're right. But it says Kiss Army Casablanca Records. It's very simple. It's not even centered correctly. You can see the border here is completely off.
And it's definitely faded,
you know what?
But cool.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't care. This is one of those things. That is a
really cool, well-kept piece of history.
That you would never see. Not a modern fan like me. So to have another piece from 70s Kiss right there is really cool.
That's amazing.
And then let's just top it off with one more. So... this is the folder. I'm going to tell you first. It's the folder for the American Express, or the Kiss Platinum Express lifetime member card. Not the Platinum Express credit card, but this is a Kiss Platinum Express lifetime member card folder.
That's great.
So back in the 70s, this was one of the, and probably is today, still one of the most sought out after pieces of Kiss merchandise. I've only heard legends about this, okay? That's why I bought this folder, because the folder itself is almost like a piece of lore.
Yeah.
But I will read you just the inside cover here. So this is where the Kiss Platinum Express card would be held. Mm-hmm. You would get this folder in the mail. You would open it up, and then the angels would sing. The light would shine. You would get your Platinum Express card. But here's what it says on the inside. Kiss thinks you are one of the most important people in the world. To thank you for your support, we've enclosed a small token of our appreciation, the Kiss Platinum Express card. Your Kiss Platinum Express card is good for 2 tickets to any Kiss concert, anytime, anywhere in the world. You can use the tickets yourself, or you can give them to someone else. To use this card, just call the 800 number on the card, give us your name, card number, tell us which show you'd like to attend, and we'll do the rest. Your tickets will be waiting for you at the box office along with a couple of backstage passes, because we want you to come by and say hello. After all, to us, you're a member of the family. How freaking incredible.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Limited amount of these going around.
That is crazy.
Limited amount of those. So again, this is just the folder. It's virtually worthless, but to me it's worth a lot because it's
any show that you want.
There was only, I mean, I don't even know a number on how many of these were made, but I didn't even know the full length of this story until I bought this. The Kiss fight, oh yeah, I heard about that, whatever, cool, it's very rare. No, I didn't realize just how rare and just how cool it actually was.
Yeah.
So you could actually...
Backstage passes?
It's one of those things that, like, it's like in the modern world, would this happen? Could you just call an 800 number and tell them your number, name, and what show you want, and then go to the box office and just hope and pray that your Kiss tickets were there? With backstage passes? Did anybody know anybody who got this? I mean, it's just one of those things where, again, it's almost like lore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I can't believe that actually happened.
It's almost like lore.
That is fascinating. I never knew that.
So here is my 70s kickoff to 2024.
What a great kickoff.
I am beside myself, you guys. So here are the game tokens. You can see just how cheap this was. They look like leftover sorry tokens.
Yeah, it's just a very simple game.
And these are pieces of perforated cardboard that just say Kiss card. Move 2 spaces any direction.
Okay,
it's like,
so it's very
the
simple.
most generic game ever.
I can't wait.
With a Kiss logo on it, and I can't wait to play it.
And we're gonna play it. I can't wait.
That's the kind of content you can expect from us in 2024. We're gonna try and do some more fun stuff like that. I'm gonna just real quickly get this boxed back up real quick.
Yes, and while you do, I'll introduce the next thing because I actually have something for you.
Uh-oh.
A late Christmas gift, if you will.
I get more stuff?
You do. This was supposed to be here, before Christmas, and actually, fun fact, it did arrive, allegedly, but I don't know if it was stolen from our mailbox or what happened, but
yep, okay.
I did repurchase it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and open it so you can easily slide it out. You know what this is, but you're still gonna be excited.
I just want to see it. Here, I'll let everybody else see it first.
Oh, it's so awesome. That is amazing.
Does it look dope?
It looks so dope.
Does it look dope? Ready?
It looks
Here we go.
So dope.
Oh, yes!
I love it.
Gosh, I don't know why I love that so much. Well, it's because it's part of my history, man.
Yeah, it is.
So this is obviously the Rock and Roll Over Kiss Beethoven graphic that was used on the disc for Kiss Alive 4, the Kiss Symphony Orchestra. And so this graphic has always been a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
Because not only does it incorporate Beethoven, but it has all 4 members
all the
of
makeup.
Kiss, their makeup, and then his eyes are even glowing.
It's so good.
Like he's some sort of rock and roll demon back from the dead to conquer music. Oh, I love it. So this shirt is an actual official shirt too. Yeah. This was what on
Amazon. I'm so serious. If you're tired of buying shirts from KOL and waiting forever for them, the Kiss store on Amazon, the official Kiss store on Amazon, honestly has way more shirts than KOL even has. Like, they have stuff that you can't even find on KOL. And it's really cool stuff, and a lot of it's really affordable. Let me fix your hair real quick. You made it crazy.
Oh, I made my hair crazy?
Yes, you did.
Oh, thank you.
I got you.
For sure, appreciate it.
That looks great.
I love it. Thank you
awesome.
so much.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate
Merry Christmas.
it. Thank you. I appreciate it. So what I appreciate a lot is the fact that the material is soft.
Is it soft?
We've
Good.
talked about burlap sacks on the show before.
You hate stiff t-shirts.
And how stiff t-shirts blow. This shirt, I have plenty of room for on the sleeves.
He also hates too short sleeves.
I hate short sleeves. Too short of sleeves. I hate long sleeves.
Yes.
Has to be just right.
Very particular.
Very particular. Look how big the graphic is.
I know, it's bigger than I expected.
It's huge. That's what I like. Now, I'm tired of shirts that just have one little itty bitty thing in the corner. Nah, man. Fill it.
Yes.
This
fill
is
the space.
Incredible. I like how I started the show with a different shirt and ended it with a different one.
Yep.
I'm having a great kickoff
They were both Christmas gifts.
2024. Both Christmas gifts.
Well, not Christmas, but Kiss in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's, close enough. We're still in January, and Christmas is left over, so the fun is still happening. And then, of course, we also just got the gifts for our Christmas winners. Mm-hmm. Those have been sent out. So anybody who was a winner of the Christmas giveaway, you should be receiving yours very, very soon. I would assume within the next week, unless you are the person from England.
Might be a while.
That one may be a while, but I promise it'll be worth it.
Fingers crossed against you.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But no, anyway, I got all those shipped out. So, and then this gift has come in, and so I think all is well.
Christmas is complete.
Christmas is complete. 2024 has begun. There's a lot to be desired. There's a lot to wonder and speculate. So what I want to know is, what do you guys want out of Kiss and out of the KISS experience? Or what do you want to see happen from the KISS world in 2024? But also, what do you want to do? What are your goals? What do you want to do? Do you want to collect more? Do you want to collect less? Do you want to, collect a certain, more vinyl or more this? Do you want to start selling? Start downsizing and start thinking about how you want to allocate your collection? Do you want to start, collecting more, or getting more 80s music? Or, what is it that you want to do in 2024? I want to go to Vegas.
Yes, definitely.
I want to go to Vegas.
We said that in our 2023 video, but this time it's happening.
I want to go to Vegas. I want to see the Gene Simmons Museum. I want to play Kiss Monster Mini Golf. It only costs $20 to play.
Are you serious?
I found out it only costs $20.
That's amazing. We gotta go.
To play 18 holes of Kiss Monster Mini Golf.
Yeah.
How incredible is that? They have a big gift shop. That's where I want my money to go.
Yeah.
Is the gift shop. And then they also, I commented on Kiss Monster Mini Golf's Facebook and talked and said, how long will Gene's museum be up? I've been planning on going, but I'm afraid that once I schedule and get enough money saved up, that's going to be gone. They said, it could have been Christina, but the comment was, just like the boys' impact in rock and roll, we're not going anywhere.
That's such a relief.
We're a permanent fixture.
What? I thought it was supposed to be temporary.
So
that changed.
I understand that the Monster Mini Golf is permanent.
Right.
But they made it sound like Gene's collection is there permanently.
Yeah, because you asked specifically about the collection.
Yeah, I said Gene's. I was like, wait, what? So
that's such a relief. That's so good to hear. I mean,
that's
obviously
crazy.
We still want to go this year, but it's less of an anxiety-inducing thing now.
I still want to go sooner rather than later.
No, I agree, but I'm saying, we don't have to stress as much about it could be gone tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's awesome.
But that's what I want to see.
Yeah,
that's what
definitely.
I want us to do. I want to make a video about that and capture that and share that with everyone. What do you guys want to see from us as well?
Yes.
I know that we had a comment from one of our viewers, John Coy, who was wanting more of a rumors episode.
Mm-hmm.
We did that kind of today as well, talking about you wanted to know more about the KISS cruise and about Gene Simmons solo band. So we touched on some of those things. Well, no, not the KISS cruise.
We didn't touch on the KISS cruise. I think that's pretty unclear, right?
It's unclear, but it wouldn't be surprising if there is a KISS cruise. It's just that KISS themselves are not on it.
Right.
KISS made it sound like they wanted to continue the cruise and continue having fans get together and tribute bands or, Bruce's band or, whatever, have all these fun activities, but that KISS themselves would not be performing.
Performing or not on the cruise at all?
Not
Both?
Performing.
Okay.
Maybe not on the cruise at all, but maybe. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
But definitely not performing in any capacity.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll still be there, but it seemed like they were open to the idea of more KISS cruises.
Yeah.
We'll see, though, because if they are, though, they usually do get announced pretty early. I mean, if they're in October, people have to plan, save.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
Yeah.
There's lots of preparation.
Yeah,
that goes
it's like
into
a
that.
week that you're gone.
So they usually announce those pretty early. So if there's going to be a KISS cruise or any sort of box sets or things like that, we should be hearing about it very soon. But like I said, I just want to know what's happening in 2024. I know we're only a week in, and it's way too early to tell. But if you guys are like me, I mean, KISS fans were anxious.
Yeah.
Because 2023, we had a pretty good idea what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We had the whole year laid out. They're going to end the tour in December.
Yep.
They're playing all these shows. They got the Soundboard in April, the Get Spinning Gold, and all these different things happening. But it's a clean slate, y'all.
Yeah. Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. One thing's for sure, though. We were living stress-free in 2023. But now we're going to live to win in 2024. So we're glad that you guys are joining us here on episode 81. Next time will be episode 82. I believe what's going to happen is so we're going to skip a week for an episode, and next week's video is going to be a full tour of my collection.
Oh.
That was one other thing.
That was a request we got, wasn't it?
That was from Bill.
Yeah.
Bill requested a tour of the video collection. So we're going to give you guys what you guys want to see, what you guys want to hear. So the next video will be a complete tour of the collection. The week after that, on episode 82, we're going to be doing Paul Stanley's birthday celebration.
I love that.
We're going to do an episode about nothing but Paul Stanley.
Oh, I'm excited.
We've done episodes on Eric Singer. We've done episodes on Vinnie Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time to get to the Paul Stanley episode. And so we're going to be doing that right around the time of his birthday.
Yeah.
So that's going to be super fun. Anyway, what a great episode in 2020. What a great way to kick it off. I think we're going to wrap up. We're going to go out to eat.
Yes.
I'm starving. It's lunchtime. So I hope that you guys, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great Christmas and a great New Year. Hopefully you have a good start to 2024. It's a new year. Be you. Be happy. And if you're here with us, I'm so glad because we're going to be bringing some more awesome Fun Kiss content and just trying to be cool, fun, positive.
Yep, always.
And keep the vibes going. So we'll see you guys for a full tour of the collection next time. In the meantime, my name is Xander.
My name is Daphne.
This is the Kiss on Everything's podcast. Peace out.